So, good morning, YouTube. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all are energetic and safe with your family. So, I'm here in this beautiful location just to review this Dominar 400. So, without further ado, let's get started. Unfortunately, there was a lot of mud over here, a lot of muddy patches, and you can see my bike's tire is completely muddy. But hey, what's the problem in that? Bike is meant for every terrains, right? So I think that I should clean this bike before taking a review. So guys, just wait for a moment. I'll be back. Stay tuned.
A few moments later.
So guys, I'm back after cleaning my bike. I'm here in a different location, so I think this is a peaceful atmosphere to take a review. So without further ado, let's get started, right? I just came out with a lot of motorcycles which has made a significant change in Indian motorcycling culture. Some motorcycles has been the trendsetters and some turned out to be a money saver. But when Bajaj decided to keep their hands on high revving engines, that's where the legends were born. Starting with the PULSAR 220F, which has been a youth icon, and still now in 2020 you can find a lot of 220 fans out there. And if I ask you which are the flagship motorcycles of Bajaj, there will be two names which comes in your mind. First the PULSAR 220F and the second one will be the Dominar 400, which has launched in India in December 2015 and within a short span of 5 years has turned out to be a flagship motorcycle as well as a hot selling cake for Bajaj even in 2020. I'll try to explain some important points regarding this bike, and also I'll try to bring in the changes or updates which Dominar 400 has got in 2020 model as compared to the predecessor model which is in front of you. This is a 2017 model Dominar 400. And coming to the most important part, which are the looks. There is nothing denying the fact that Dominar 400 looks muscular, whether it's from the front looks or even the side or even the rear or any side. This bike definitely looks muscular, right? And towards the front you can see two chunky conventional forks, and main highlight is the headlight, which is a complete LED unit which is very bright at night, and even they serve the purpose of daytime running light in the morning. Even from half a kilometer distance these lights can be seen. This looks even beautiful at night, and light throw is pretty much good. You don't need to install an aftermarket fog lamp, but the one downside about this light is the white colored light will give poor visibility in foggy conditions. So installing an aftermarket yellow colored fog lamp, note the point, yellow colored fog lamps can help to improvise the visibility. Two LED indicators which are small but bright even in a daytime conditions. Handlebars, these are not clip-ons, though it serves the purpose. But I think the naked model bikes and street fighter model bikes looks better with these kind of regular handlebars, right? So coming to the switches, you can see an indicator switch and also a high beam low beam switch and also a dedicated switch for the horn. These are of stock ones. And coming to the right side, you can see an engine kill switch and also an ignition button and also a button for adjusting the headlight and also the park light. Into the instrument console, this is a negative LED unit. This is very bright even in the daylight, and also it looks beautiful in the night also. So this instrument console features the basic informations like the odometer, the trip 1 and trip 2, and also the time, and also the fuel gauge and speedometer. And there are two buttons for setting the trip 1 and trip 2, and also there are some indications like the neutral indication and also the oil level warning and also the indicator warning and RPM warning, the rev limiter warning. So that's all about the instrument cluster. Dominar gets a bulky and muscular fuel tank which is a fiber material which is strong enough and looks huge while riding. You will feel like you are riding a bigger bike, and there are two front coils on the both sides which gives us a big bike feel while riding this motorcycle. And there is a small instrument cluster unit on the tank which gives minimalistic informations like the engine warning, the battery level indication and also the temperature warning, and a Bajaj logo and a side stand indicator along with ABS indicator. And the new updated model of this instrument console, which is a 2020 UG model, it carries more informations like current fuel economy, average fuel consumption along with the service indicator and a trip meter, which has been shifted from the main instrument console to the small instrument console on the tank. This meter also contains the gear position indicator on the new updated model. And a very beautifully embedded fuel lid opener on the center of the tank, and this fuel cap is very useful. This will not allow any dust or water to enter into this keyhole, and this fuel lid doesn't open up completely. It will remain in a vertical position so that you can just fuel it up, or you doesn't need to carry this fuel lid on your hand, or you need to keep it somewhere else. So this is a very useful touch from Bajaj actually. With the seat of Dominar 400, you can find a split seat. This rear seat can be opened to keep your documents, and you can find a small space under it. So coming to the material, this is neither too soft or neither too stiff, so it's a mix of both. So this can greatly help you when you are going for a long ride, because having a very soft seat can always give you butt pains. Hope you will agree with me, right? Longer rides, if you want more softer seats, you can either prefer a jelly pad kind of a thing, which is available like Ride on Air. Rear of Dominar 400, you can see the LED strip design tail lamp. They are very much bright, serves the purpose of park light as well as brake light. And each and every lights on Dominar 400 are of supreme quality, guys. Since last 3 years, I didn't have to change any single lights of or even any electronic components on this bike. So hats off Bajaj for that. The sides, there is a front alloy wheel of 17 inches. These alloys are of diamond cut design, matte black and silver in color. But this silver color tends to fade over a long run actually. You can see it fades over a long run. And these wheels are running on Michelin Pilot straight radial tires of size 110 by 70 R17. And here is a disc brake setup. These are of dual channel ABS. These are of 320 mm and the rear disc brake is of 230 mm. These are dual ABS units which gives you a safer braking in any kind of unfortunate or panic braking situations. But I would say from my ownership experience that the brake bite should have been a little more better. And Dominar 400 has a liquid cooling technology. You can see a coolant tank in which the coolant levels are given, and also right in front of the engine there is a radiator grill. And the fan inside the radiator will automatically turn on once the engine heat rises over a particular limit. So you can find a crash guard over here which are functional. These are stock ones. They serve the purpose to a certain extent, and you can find a lot of aftermarket crash guard which also enhances the look, so that you can install it accordingly to your preference. And here you can find a brake lever of rear brake lever of aluminium finish, and front footrest which is placed right under the seat, so that you will get a relaxed seating position while riding this bike actually. It's underpinned with a perimeter frame which gives it a supreme rigidity and handling on riding. And you can see an aluminium swing arm which is not only helps in giving this bike a better handling, but also it helps in reducing the bike's weight to a greater level. And here is the rear footrest which is also placed right on the position for a better pillion comfort. And here you can see a single ported exhaust which gives you a clean exhaust note, but it's not as good as the one in the upgraded model. The upgraded model, which is 2020 model, has a double barrel exhaust which is quite bassy and attractive, which lends the bike a big bike feel, and it also gives you a quite bassy exhaust note as well. And coming to the suspension part, Dominar's front suspension are conventional forks, and the rear suspension is also a 10-step adjustable dual spring monoshock nitrox suspension. Regarding suspension, in my ownership point of view, I should say that both front and rear suspension are on the stiffer side. And this model, which is 2017 model, the suspensions are very much stiffer. But in new models, the Bajaj has given a much softer suspension as compared to the predecessor models. And new 2020 upgraded model, which is the upgraded UG model, get a telescopic USD forks of 43 mm, which looks beefy and more attractive, and also lends the bike more stiff and superior riding characteristics. But one downside about USD forks is that if any kind of oil leaks happens from oil seals, it can directly get onto the disc brakes and can be very much risky. So it is just a possibility and doesn't mean that this situation could happen. And if you ask me in simple words what is the opinion about 2017 model Dominar suspension, then I will tell you that this suspension is very stiff. Both the suspensions are very stiff, and this is gonna give you a very hard time when you are going through a country road, because every bumps on the road can be felt onto your handlebar and also your back. And if you have a pillion on board, then your pillion is gonna definitely dislike this suspension. This is my personal experience, guys. And when you are riding through a highway, then you are gonna love this suspension for the reason that it is stiff, and more stiffer suspension gives a better stability over highways, and it also gives you high speed stability. So in simple words, I can say that it is very stiff on normal roads, on any country road, and it is very much confidence inspiring on a highway. And those who love to take corners will also love this suspension, because more stiffer suspension is translated into better cornering abilities. Into the core of the matter, the engine. This is a 2017 model Dominar 400. This engine is a 373.3cc single-cylinder 4-valve triple-spark DTSI liquid-cooled engine, which produces a max power of 35 PS at the rate of 8000 rpm and 35 Nm of torque at the rate of 6500 rpm. This is almost the same engine which you will find in KTM 390s, where this engine is tuned to produce more horsepower and torque figures. In KTM 390, this engine produces 43.5 PS of max power at the rate of 9000 rpm and 37 Nm of torque at the rate of 7000 rpm. Along with this weight advantage of just 139 kgs of dry weight, KTM 390 literally flies like a pocket rocket. When it comes to Dominar 400, if I compare the power to weight ratio of 2017 model, which is in front of you, the old model Dominar, it has 174 kg dry weight, which might not be so impressive if you compare the power to weight ratio of KTM 390, but you should consider that KTMs and Dominars are different category bikes, and they are meant for different purposes too. KTMs are mostly meant for track, and those are street fighters, whereas Bajaj has claimed that Dominar 400 is an adventure tourer. And for touring purposes, from my ownership point of view, Dominar is a better option, as it has composed and stable cruising characteristics as compared to the aggressive and instant power delivery of KTM 390. So now it's you to decide what kind of a rider you are and for what purposes you are going to take your bike mostly for. Then it will be easy for you to choose a bike which is better for you, if it is KTM or Dominar 400. Let me know in the comment section. And further adding on to the benefits of Dominar 400, the 2000 upgraded model Dominar comes out with more power and torque figures. Now the same engine has been tuned to produce 40 PS of power at the rate of 8650 rpm and max torque of 35 Nm at the rate of 7000 rpm. But you should also consider the fact that the bike has also put on weight of about 10 kgs, and due to the extra equipments like USD forks and a double barrel exhaust which has been added on the new model. But still, the upgraded model is more powerful than my 2017 Dominar in the real world conditions, and the stability and comfort of the bike has further increased due to the USD forks and some minor changes which has been made to the rear suspension to make it even more softer. So I believe that I have covered everything regarding the specifications and handling, and also I tried to cover the positioning of this motorcycle, whether which people should choose this machine. I have also tried to cover a brief comparison of Dominar 400 upgraded model and the old model which I am using right now. If there is anything left from my side, please let me know in the comment section, and also feel free to correct me if there is anything which should be corrected in my side. So finally, I'll share with you the service cost of Dominar 400. To be precise, the service cost will be just under 2000 rupees for every 6000 kilometers. And there are some issues which I have faced in my Dominar 2017 model, and which I'll be sharing with you in my next video. So do subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video. If you want to get notified on my every new videos, do hit that bell button. I will be back with a new video soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, and always be a responsible rider.
can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online, my city don't show me no love and that's fine.